King Ahaz then gave these orders to Uriah the priest on the large new altar. Okay, we already read all of that. Okay. And Uriah the priest did just as King Ahaz had ordered. Okay, King Ahaz took away the side panels and removed the basins from the movable stands. He removed the sea from the bronze bowls that supported it and set it on a stone base. He took away the Sabbath canopy that had been built at the temple and removed the royal entryway outside the temple of the Lord in deference to the king of Assyria. As for the other events of the reign of Ahaz and what he did, are they not written in the book of the annals of the kings of Judah? Ahaz rested with his fathers and was buried with them in the city of David, and Hezekiah, his son, succeeded him as king. So Ahaz is now gone. Now we're going to see just how his son did. And so, what was I mentioning or thinking about during this portion? There was quite a bit of different things. I was also thinking about that whole, people take advantage of the word and then they watch out for that. Watch out for twisting of and mixing practices and mixing religions in. I did see something like that before. It was really interesting to see how there was a mixture of different types of religions that were practiced, and it was almost like what do you call it? Amalgamation or something. Like, there's a word for it, but it was like bringing a whole bunch of stuff together. And I was like, that's interesting. Because there are a lot of religions that are based off the Bible, right? But then there's some other religions. And so it was interesting to see the mixing of the other religions. To me, it was not... It was not how they were saying, how they were interpreting it. Like, it wasn't the same to me. So it wasn't like you could mix them all together. That's what I'm trying to say. So it was kind of interesting. I was like, that's really difficult to even think about and consider, because this is the holy word, and so where else would you get some information from? But I mean, they do, right? People do. But have you seen anything like that? Like, for yourself, like, have you seen any mixtures of practices and such? Have you been to other places? Like, I've definitely been to other places and seen different practices and such, and observed, because those things to watch and observe and to understand, that's okay too. I mean, the apostles in the New Testament, they saw it happening all the time, but that didn't prevent them from also living. And that's what we can do. We can live our lives. We can live in our walk, so that way people can also ask us, well, hey, you always seem like you know the answer. And then we can tell them it's Jesus, and then that can start a conversation for you. What kind of thoughts or feelings come to your mind when we read over this? How does it make you feel, and what does it make you think?